This feels like a minivan inside.
It does, and I have a friend who's in a minivan, and she remarks that this feels like it has more room to her than what her rig has.
It's a little wider. Welcome back to our next video. Today we get a chance to talk to Deb. Deb, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
So Deb, tell us a little bit about the rig that you're currently in.
It is a 2007 Suburban, and I had a partial build done by Suburban in Twin Falls, Idaho. I got it at 189,000 miles. I think I've put 5 on so far since August. I picked it up in August. They jacked it up 2 inches. They put 400 watts of solar on the roof. There is a ceiling fan and LED lights and cubbies and a sleeping platform. It is 4x4. It has a 30-gallon tank and gets about 16 miles per gallon.
Hey, that's pretty good for something this size. And looking at your tires, I'm like, wow, you could go anywhere with this thing.
I can, and that's one of the reasons I got it.
For a little more freedom.
Yep, and spend a little more time further back than I might have.
Okay,
yeah,
very
absolutely.
Good. Well, let's just go ahead and start the tour, shall we?
Sure.
All right, let's go.
Well, welcome to my home. First, I'll introduce you to the sleeping platform that was built for me. It's usually, I think it's 5 feet with the drawer pushed in, but I leave it extended on the inside to have a full 6 feet of sleeping area, and they provide this cover, so it's flat and very comfortable.
Oh, very
and
nice.
Also these cubbies, they're bolted into the wall. They have LED lighting on the inside so I can see what's in there. Everything that I need is within easy reach.
When you say your bed slides out, so it actually nests inside each other so it can be flush with your back seat, or how does that work?
It can be flush here and also flush pretty much with the hatch. Or it can push out that way too, so if I wanted to use it as a cooking surface when I want to do that kind of thing. And they also will do 2 of them. But since I wanted the seat, I just wanted 1 platform.
You'd mentioned the company earlier. What was the company again that you worked through?
Suburban.
And so tell me the process that you went through to get this all set up with them.
Okay, so I was in a Kia Sorento, and I'd been in that for 3 years. And I wanted to be proactive about not having to get another vehicle on the road because that one broke down. And I was getting a little tired of doing somersaults in a little car to get from the front to the back. And I just gave myself permission to start looking literally while I was driving the 4 corners of the states last year. What would I get? And I landed on a Suburban, and then I told some friends about that, and they knew about Suburban. So I went to their YouTube channel and their website, and yep, that's what I want. So just jumped in. You can bring a rig that you already have to them, or they go out and buy Suburbans that maybe have been in accidents that caused cosmetic damage, but they check out the mechanics completely. Before you pick it up, they'll change out all the liquids. They put on new tires and whatever else it is that you want. They have packages, but you can also do a la carte. I didn't want everything that was in a package, so that's how I went about it.
Now, the first thing this actually reminds me of, surprisingly, is this feels like a minivan inside.
It does, and I have a friend who's in a minivan, and she remarks that this feels like it has more room to her than what her rig has.
It's a little wider.
Yeah, I think it's 8 inches wider than what I had, 8 inches taller. It's just the perfect size.
And considering that, like, how off-road capable you are, which minivans are great, but this could get you so much further back.
Exactly. It's a great confidence builder.
So do you have any good advice for newbies that have just hit the road or maybe are about to hit the road?
Yes, absolutely. Do yourself a favor, practice in your driveway as many times as you can. People just don't think about that as an option, and that's how you learn where things need to go. And your house is right there, so you can make modifications on a dime like that. And then go to local campgrounds and state parks to practice as well. Because the more you know about where your stuff is, how little you actually need and how much you can leave at home, the better. So when you get out here and that learning curve, which can be really overwhelming at times, you have a little bit of a comfort zone.
And how are you liking the lifestyle?
This is the best. The best. I mean, granted, especially here in the winter, it's cold sometimes, and yeah, the wind can be brutal, But I grew up in northern Minnesota, so this is actually pretty balmy compared to that. But yes, I highly recommend it to anybody who's actually thinking about it. And if you can pull off having a short-term leave of absence, or even just taking a 2-week vacation and just trying it, try it. So I personally do several kinds of camping. I love stealth parking. It's kind of a game and I like to play it. And also being out here boondocking. So I need a couple different accoutrements for those various types of parking. So I created these curtains for privacy and for blocking the light when I am parking in a hospital parking lot, in a rest area, what have you. So these all block the lights. I leave the front open, so anybody passing by is like, oh, there's nobody in there. And then when I do need the heat retention in the cold, these come down too. And also the WeatherTech covers help with the sun and the heat retention too.
So you say it's like a game when you're stealth parking. Have you won most of the time?
Most of the time. I've gotten 2 knocks over the 4 years. Both times the security folks gave up because I just didn't respond. And then after they left, I took off and found a better spot. So work on being inobtrusive, no music, no lights, and just, know the rules of the game. So in my Kia Sorento, very small SUV, didn't have the room, didn't want the weight of a fridge or a large battery. But when I upgraded to this, I did get 30-liter fridge, 12 volts, because that's 20% less energy. Mm-hmm. And then I got a 2,000-watt Anker battery, and I try to block the dust from getting in. And that's been a learning curve, and sometimes I just don't want to cook, but I really appreciate having the options.
How often do you think you cook versus you eat out or do other stuff?
I probably cook 5 days a week.
Okay.
On average, maybe 6.
Do you feel it's pretty easy to cook healthy on the road?
Oh yeah. And when I was practicing at home also, I had that in mind of how can I make this as easy as possible, knowing what the choices are at, small markets. You don't have large grocery stores all the time. So it's very doable.
And you also mentioned you have your refrigerator and some other electronics, I'm sure. What is your total electrical system? You mentioned the battery, but what do you have on top?
I have 400 watts on top.
That's a lot.
It's flat, it's winter, so you don't get the total amount, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like in the summer, but it's perfect for my needs. And one of the reasons I wanted a big enough battery is to power my induction cooktop, which makes life much easier. I started out with a butane cook stove. I just didn't like the idea of the gas, so I got rid of it. But now I can do pretty much whatever I want in my small nonstick skillet. So with my kitchen, these soft side bins down here are my most used items, dry goods. There's a little bit of a pantry here, and then my fridge, which is 30 liters. I've never had any problems with this. It runs perfectly. I leave it on at night because I discovered that it really only draws about 14 watts an hour because compressors don't run all the time unless the ambient temperature is too high. And it doesn't keep me up at night. So far, good. So far, so good. Okay, and yes, my utensils are hiding in here. I do have a few things in the front, like the skillet that I use, and a few things down here too, but I try to have everything within reach that I use on a regular basis. So when there's bugs, and there will be, I keep this pinned to the fabric of my ceiling year-round, and when I need it, it's called a Mombasa. It's got no seam screening, and I've purchased one at Walmart and also at REI, so they're available everywhere, and they're under $25. I just let it roll down and cover the area that I want to inhabit and not have the bugs get to me. So every Nomad has to deal with condensation, and I purchased this before I got on the road. It's basically frozen spaghetti, I call it. From Mattress Insider. I trimmed it down to this size. They're intended for RVs. It just lets air circulate constantly. I also use fans. I don't find that I have to do that so much in this rig as I did in the Sorento. So this is my garage, and it often feels much bigger than it actually is, so I'm still getting used to that. Here's the other end of the sleeping platform, and again, it's extended on the inside, so I have lots of extra storage here in the back. If I wanted to, I could pull it out and use a cook stove or whatever on this end. This is my toileting area. I have a collapsible 2-gallon bucket and a variable wide mouth pee bottle. In addition to the WeatherTech window covering, which I did sew a layer of landscape fabric on the dark side to help eliminate the shiny. So if a security guard has a flashlight, it might mitigate that and not make them want to investigate further. When it does get upper 60s, lower 70s, that's a little too warm for me with the windows creating a lot of heat. So I'll cover one side with a reflective tarp with heavy-duty magnet, and then I have a windshield cover on the outside to stop the heat from being created in the first place. And then in the afternoon, I'll drape an Aluminet tarp across the open doors, and that mitigates the heat in the afternoon.
Do you have any heating source in here?
I don't. I didn't try my car heater until a couple nights ago or a couple mornings ago. I don't typically get up till 8 o'clock. I wait for the sun to come up and start heating the windows, and I'll take down the window covers and just let it naturally heat up. I'll put on a couple layers, and in 10 minutes I'm fine. And besides encouraging people to practice while they're deciding if they want to do this or not, being nomad on the road, I'm also really passionate about helping people know whether they're underpaneled or not. And that involves taking into consideration that in the winter we don't get as much sun, and the slant of the sun to the earth just doesn't give you what you can get in the summer. I've had quite a few friends who woke up to a beeping inverter or just had a dead battery, and you just have to do a little math, which I know is a little complicated, but I have a really easy system, and I've done a couple videos about it. So if you're willing to do the math, you can be covered. You'll have enough.
Deb, thank you so much for the tour of your super cool, jacked up Suburban that can go anywhere.
Yeah!
I absolutely love it. So thank you again for being on the channel.
You're very welcome.
So you'd mentioned earlier about you have a YouTube channel that you kind of go through some of the calculations for solar and other things. How can we learn more about that stuff?
My channel is called Nomad, spelled Knowmad. Your own nomad, like hike your own hike, nomad your own nomad.
Oh, very good. So folks out there, go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions about solar or other things, or just about her travels, it's a great resource. And other than that, what did you guys think of her build? What was your favorite part? Was there anything that kind of floated to the top for you? Please let us know in the comments below. If you got anything out of today's video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends, and until next time, we'll see you down the road. So long.